Hi everybody. So it is day 8 of me trying to cure my diabetes. Day 8 of many. It is almost 5 in the morning. It's actually my day off. For those of you who watched and haven't yet figured out, I work shift work, so currently I'm working the midnight rotation. My wife and girls are asleep, and I have these awesome chapped lips. Looks like I'm wearing like Botox injections or something in my lips. Everyone's asleep and I still need to eat, so I've got to come up with something. I have to cook something that hopefully won't wake them up. What I like to do is use minimal amount of dishes, not a lot of pots and pans, but I still need to eat something healthy. So what I've decided to do is I am going to broil a salmon fillet. I don't have any recipe in particular. I've just decided off the top of my head how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and make this recipe. I'm pretty sure it's not going to suck. Not because I think I'm that great of a cook, but because the stuff that's in it just really jives with salmon, except for maybe one thing. That's the wow factor. Yeah, I stole that off of Storage Wars. For all of you guys who do like to cook out there, be prepared. Jealous much? No. I'll show you one of my favorite things in my kitchen. My kitchen's not that big, but there's something I absolutely love about my kitchen, and it is my double oven. It really works well, especially for a meal like this that I'm going to do today. It's a real quick, simple, takes like less than 15 minutes even to put together. Literally like less than 5 minutes to cook, depending on the size of your fillet. So I'm going to preheat this oven, top one here. I'm going to set it to broil, and I'm going to let that actually preheat for 15 minutes, and in that 15 minutes I'm going to have the salmon totally prepared and ready to go. Plus I'm also going to get my veggies going too. Oh yeah, my coffee. Love that coffee. Let's get prepping. So what I've done now is, and this just took me literally like less than 2 minutes. I took roughly 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I literally took 2 dashes of parsley, and I literally took 1 smidge of ginger. Yeah, those measurements are exact according to my awesome spoons that have pinch, dash, and smidgen on them. That's how cool we are. I don't know if you can see it or not. So what I've done is I actually combined all those. Now ginger can be very potent, so I only used a very small amount, less than 1/8 of a teaspoon, I believe. And then I just combined it with the olive oil. I've stirred it together, and there you go. Now for the cashew part, what I've done is I've actually made cashew meal. That's actually real easy to make. You can do it by hand, or you can do it like this. I use my Toastmaster. It's like a little mini, I don't know if you call it, processor or whatever it is. You can use it to ground coffee beans. Next I'll show you how to prep the salmon. I've taken the salmon. All I did is I took it and I rinsed it real quick, and I patted it dry with just some paper towel, and I put it on my baking sheet, which I've also covered with non-stick aluminum foil, my preference. It just makes it a lot easier to clean up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my mixture of olive oil, ginger, and parsley. I'm going to go ahead and just drip it on here. Once I get that on, just scrape it out here and just rub it all around. You want to get it on both sides, and there's plenty of runoff here on the salmon into the pan, so I'm going to go ahead and just rub it around. Just want to get it, good and coated. I'll keep all the seasoning up on top because I use, you can do it with skin or without. I use the skin on only because it reduces the prep time. So, and then what I'm going to do, I just sprinkle this on. And you have a good meal when it's a good floury texture. You don't want it to be too overdone because then it'll become more like a cashew butter, which is fine if that's what you're going to use on your meal, but for something like this, I just want to do it kind of like a breading, okay? And I'm not too worried about breading the skin. Some people bread both sides. I don't worry about it. There's other ones with almond meal out there. If you prefer using almonds, that's fine too. It's all based on your preference. So now I've got my fillet ready. See it right here. As far as the cashews go, if anybody wants to know what I used, I used less than I used a quarter of a cup on this. Could have used less. It actually makes a lot of meal. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the oven. Take it, just got in the middle of the tray. My oven's already preheated. Voila. Now, for this fillet, it's about a little over ½ inch thick. You kind of want it to be within 2 inches of the broiler. I'm probably within 3, so I'm okay. I'm gonna let it broil for 6 minutes. That's really all I'm gonna need. That might even be too much because that's enough to cook a whole like 1 inch thick salmon fillet at like 2.5 pounds. It's only 1 pound of fish right there. 6 minutes that this salmon is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and juice one of these fresh lemons. And I'm fixing to make some Brussels sprouts and some, I said fixing. Where is this guy from? His coffee cup says Oregon. His shirt says Washington, D.C., but he says fixin', as if he's from Texas. Where is this man from? I'll never tell. But if it helps, I can tell you this, my coffee's Colombian roast. Nothing? Well, mystery for another day, I guess. Okay, in a few minutes here I'm going to show you the finished product. Let you decide for yourself. It was actually 4 minutes was all it really needed. Be good and done. The broiler, you can see, hit the cashew breading pretty well. Okay, so here's my fillet. It's actually more than enough for me to eat probably for 2 meals today. And yes, I'm not exactly pro-microwave, but let's be pragmatic here. We live in a modern society, and sometimes we got to cook on the go. And my objective for some of these recipes I want to show is how you can make a good paleo meal in little to no time. This meal here, in total time, if you count from the time you preheat the oven to the time you put it on the table, 25 minutes. So, that's even with the Brussels sprouts, which I do a quick 5-minute steam in the microwave. I use fresh Brussels sprouts, a couple tablespoons of water, put a lid on. I'm even using my plate to cover the bowl so you get the good steaming effect. And then some raw vegetables. You're going to get a complete meal in less than 25 minutes. The truth is that if you're ready to just eat it out of the oven, 20 minutes, boom, you're done. In less than 25 minutes, I have a full, healthy meal ready to go. I've got my salmon, which is prepped in paleo style. I didn't add any salts. I used virgin olive oil. I did add some seasoning to make it a little more flavorful, plus some cashews. So high in omega-3. It's a very nutritional fish to have. I got some lemon wedges for added flavor. I've cooked hot, steamed some Brussels sprouts. I did it just in water. You can also use balsamic vinegar. If you want to flavor it a little bit, you can always use some olive oil. I avoid butter because butter is not in any way, shape, or form conducive to what I need to do. And I have raw broccoli. Now, some people just can't stomach the idea of raw broccoli. My wife, who's a raw vegetarian, can't stand the stuff. So I recommend a little side, if you can see, of Italian salad dressing. And, you know, a little bit goes a long way. You can just dip a piece of broccoli in, just a little bit, and it adds mounds of flavor. Some of the paleo purists out there may be looking at my plate right now and saying this is not balanced by paleo standards. There should be more meat. Well, if that is your preference for eating, the truth is that this is actually a really large plate, but I wanted to do a big plate so you guys can see the multitude of food on here. I feel that vegetables are actually a very important, critical part of healthy dieting, along with lean meats. And the truth is that it never hurts you, ever, to eat fresh vegetables. And I do try to keep raw, cooked together. I highly encourage people to look into it. Remember that meat in and of itself is a wonderful source of nutrition. However, you really do need to balance it out. You need to balance it out with good vegetables. Dark green vegetables are very, very nutritious for you. I'm not saying avoid the light vegetables. I'm saying just remember to keep some dark vegetables with you. The brighter the color, the better the nutrition. That's always a good rule to follow. Here we try to stick with bright reds, bright oranges, dark greens. The more color, the more nutrients. You can take that to the bank. Try the recipe out. If you enjoy it, please feel free to comment below. If you hated it, you can just go and comment below also. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to click over here. Or if you'd just like to watch some of my other videos, which are awesome, go ahead and click over here. That being said, I'm tired of John. I'm hecka hungry, and this is looking hecka delicious. So, Diabetic Daddy saying, y'all have a good day. Thanks.